Hello everyone, in this tutorial we will be seeing how to create an AWS Lambda function and use it as an API. So the tutorial is split into three parts, where the first part will be dealing with how to create an AWS function, and in the second part we will be seeing how to use a post method to invoke the API, and in the third part we will be seeing how to use a get method to invoke the API. So now if you want to create an AWS Lambda function, we need to first sign into the AWS Management Console. So just search in Google for AWS Management Console and click on the first or the second link. So this will take us to the AWS Management Console page. So now if you want to sign in or sign up to that particular console, we need to click on the sign in to the console button. So this will take us to the sign up or the sign in page of the AWS Management Console. So if you are a new user, just click on this I am a new user radio button and sign into the secure server, where they will be asking for all the login credentials. So if you already have or if you are a returning user, just click on to this I am a returning user and type your password over here and click on the sign into our secure server. So this will take us to the AWS console dashboard. So now if we want to create a Lambda function, go to the top hand side tab where services is mentioned, click on that particular tab. So it will list out the list of services that are being provided by Amazon Web Services. So now under this compute section, click on the Lambda link and it will redirect to the Lambda function page. So this is a Lambda function page. If you are a new user or if you are creating your first Lambda function, these all function names will not be displayed to you. These are the function names which I created earlier. So now if you want to create a new function, click on the create a Lambda function button and it will take us to the blueprint section. So now here we are supposed to select our runtime. Runtime is nothing but the programming language which we will be using to create a function. So now for our case we will be using Python 2.7, and inside this filter box we need to type hello and it will list us hello world Python. So we will be selecting on this hello world Python button. It will be taking us to the configure triggers page. So in this page we won't be doing anything, we will be just clicking on the next button. So now it takes us to the configure function page, where we are supposed to give our function details. So since it is a get post method using Lambda, so I will be creating the function name as get post tutorial, and I will be using the default Lambda function code which is given by the AWS Lambda function. So in this case, this Lambda handler is the function which we will be calling all the time, and two parameters will be passed to the particular Lambda handler. The first one is the event and the other one is the context. So event is nothing but the data or the parameters that will be passed along with the post or the get method. It is similar to an dictionary, or consider it as a Python dictionary. The dictionaries in Python are similar to the associative arrays in Java. And now if you want to access the items in the dictionary, we can just access it by giving the key names. So in this case we are just printing out some of the values associated with each of this key 1, key 2 and key 3, and we will be returning only the value of key 1. So this we are doing it only for the demonstration purpose. So now if we want, now the next thing which we want to do over here is we need to select our existing role. So in our case we can select the service role, my first Lambda, as our existing role, and next thing which we will be doing is clicking on the next button. So now this will take us to the review page, and since everything is done perfectly, we can create our Lambda function. So now the function is being created, and if you want to test our function, we can click on this test button. This test function button will be first prompting us for the input test event. So input test event is nothing but the dictionary which we will be passing to our function. So now this dictionary is having 3 items, and each of these 3 items is a key value pair. So now each of these items key is key 1, and the value associated with this particular key is the value 1, and so on. So now we will be using this to test our function. So now I will be clicking on this save and test. So what it will be doing is it will be just running a particular function, and it will be showing us the value which our function is returning, that is nothing but return event of key 1, that is nothing but the value of this key 1. And if you see the log output, you can see the actual values that are getting printed. Now in our next video we will be seeing how to create an API for this function and invoke it using a post method. Thank you guys for watching.